Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day. All right, so I hauled these candles upstairs here because I was gonna actually film downstairs, but there's some people in our yard today doing some stuff, and the big window that I sit in front of, like, is just this huge picture window, and it literally is like right in the area where some work is being done, and that just felt uncomfortable to me. So I hauled the candles upstairs, and yeah, anyway, that's why we're here. I know I typically do candle contents downstairs. So all right, friends, in this video we are going to be discussing the 6 new spring summer 2023 fragrances from the Kringle Country Candle line, these guys right here. In full disclosure, these 6 that I'm showing you here were sent as PR by Kringle. They are currently in between staffing for the ambassador program, and so I didn't know that I was going to be getting the candles as PR. So the day that everything dropped on the website, I went ahead and placed an order for these 6 candles myself, and they're on their way, but I live in Oregon and they have not arrived. So the candles I'm showing you guys today are PR. I am always upfront about that. I am obviously a Kringle ambassador, so yeah, they sent these. All opinions will still be my own. You guys know that I'm honest. If I don't like the way something smells, if I don't like the way something burns, I will mention that. So we're not talking post-burn reviews on these yet though, because I haven't had a chance to light them up. These are just going to be more like first sniff impressions, and also just talking about some of the differences that I am noticing from the changeover that happened with the Country Candle line. So if you are not familiar, I'm sure this is pretty common knowledge by now if you shop with Kringle on any kind of regular basis. The Country Candle line has been changed over from paraffin to the soy wax formulation, and this is definitely a bummer for some people. A lot of other people are really excited about it, but it is definitely something that those of you who really love paraffin, I know, are super bummed about. Kringle does have quite a bit of backup stash, I guess, of the paraffin candles in their warehouse. So you are still able at this time to purchase country candles that are in the paraffin formula. The only difference is that going forward with spring and summer 2023, any new candles that are being poured for just this line right here are going to be exclusively in the soy formulation. So what that means for probably mostly like later on in this year, as they start converting some of the older fragrances over, as they sell out of the old stock, you're probably going to have to pay attention on the website where they have the information for like what type of wax is used. You want to make sure that you know whether you are getting the paraffin or the soy, because they are very, very different. And I do just want to recognize again really quickly that I know that there are some people out there who are super bummed about the changeover. It does suck a lot when something that you really enjoy or something that works really well for you is tweaked or changed altogether. I've had this happen a lot with skincare. I've had it happen a lot with makeup. I know like what a source of frustration that can be, especially if something is very enjoyable to you, or like you're just very familiar with it, it's very comfortable to you. The changeover can sometimes not necessarily be a good thing. I personally am excited about it because I really love the soy formulation from Kringle, probably more than any other type of wax from even all of the other candle companies that I love and purchase from frequently. I just think it's one of those wax formulas that's more of like a set it and forget it versus like needing to check in on the candle or babysit or do a bunch of tips, tricks, tweaks, things like that to like try to make it work for me. So I was personally really excited about the changeover, but I do want to recognize that there are some people that are bummed out about it. And, you know, I know that feeling. So I am really sorry about that. There are still lots of companies out there that do offer paraffin as a wax formulation. I honestly see a lot of companies moving away from it. So, you know, I don't know if paraffin is really something that's going to be around with a lot of different candle companies for the long term. But I believe McCall's and what's the other one? Not Candleberry. They do a soy blend. Yankee Candle for sure. So their original like signature line, they still have the paraffin available, and they actually, this style of jar, right? It's like this like home style jar, I think is what this is called. Crossroads I think is the other one that potentially offers paraffin or paraffin blend as well. So I don't personally gravitate towards paraffin, like I said, so I don't know if that is, if those are all the options, but those are just a few that I have heard about. So you can still find paraffin candles out there. Also, Kringle does have a lot of like a backup stash, I guess, if you want to call it that, in their warehouse of the paraffin candles that they haven't sold through yet. So that means that for the time being, any of the candles that are left on the website that are country candle, that are not from spring, going forward of this year, those are all paraffin. One thing I will say that might get tricky and that you might have to watch out for later on this year is as they sell through the backlog of paraffin candles and start to re-pour those fragrances in the new soy formulation, you might want to make sure that you check the description and see whether it is paraffin that they are using in that particular candle, or if it has now been switched over to the soy formulation. So that's the one thing that I would say would be important to watch out for. But yeah, so anyway, in today's video, I'm gonna go through and I'm just gonna kind of sniff these with you guys. This is not a true first sniffs like type video because I've already stuck my nose in these. There are a few scents that I really, really love. And there's a couple that I like, with one of them being just a little too sweet for me actually, which is always kind of crazy for me because you guys know how I feel about gourmand candles and, you know, like sweet fruity scents. If it smells like cake, if it smells like a cookie or a pie, please give it to me. So, and this one here that I'm going to show you guys is, it might be a surprise that I'm just like, oh, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep this lit actually, because these are quite potent and intense. I really was shocked, like once I let them warm up and I opened the lid, like the fragrance just kind of like hit me in the face, and I'm not used to that. From at least the country candle line, because those have always been paraffin, and to me paraffin is just, I really think paraffin candles aren't quite as strong as at least the soy formulation here. So yeah, anyway, all right you guys, I have the website pulled up and we're gonna go through the fragrance notes. I'm just gonna tell you what I smell on cold sniff. Obviously, post-burn reviews are coming. I believe in burning the fragrances and then formally reviewing them at that point. I'm not gonna necessarily tell you to like run out and like buy these, especially since the changeover. I think it's probably important to, you know, watch some post-burn reviews and make sure that you like the look of the burn overall, and maybe get some feedback from a few of the different ambassadors on what their experience is. So right now they have the country candle fragrances available in the large jars and the medium jars. The daylights and the wax melts are not available yet, but those are coming. And if you're not sure about any of these fragrances, like I don't think you need to rush out and get these like today. Obviously, if you want to, sure, go ahead. But if you are the type of person that likes to purchase either the Daylights or the wax melts first, just to make sure you like the fragrance. Those are coming. These are for spring and summer of this year, so I don't anticipate them running out or these being discontinued for like several months. I think you're safe to wait a little bit if you want some post-burn reviews. So keep that in mind. I don't think you need to rush out today to order these. I will, of course, put a link down below. I'll put my ambassador code. That'll save you 15%. They're not on sale yet. They should go on sale hopefully within another like few weeks to a month, somewhere around there. Kringle usually likes to wait to put the newer things on sale. So, all right, we're gonna kick it off with the blue raspberry. And here she is. So Kringle sent the large jars to the ambassadors to share thoughts with you guys. So let's see here. All right, I'm gonna go down to the scent description. I will read you the scent description. I will go through the fragrance notes. I'll do a little snifferoo, tell you what I pick up on cold sniff, and then we'll move on to the next scent. All right. Blue raspberry. Sugared blueberries and a sweet heart of spun cotton candy is enveloped with dazzling sugar crystal woods and vibrant citrus top notes for a pop. All right, your top notes here are the lime, citron, glazed raspberries, and sweet raspberries. Your mid notes are sugared blueberries, spun cotton candy. The base is dazzling sugar crystal woods and candied musk. All right. Buddy, please don't bark. Of course, my assistant is here today. He hears the people outside, so he's not very happy about them being here. Ooh, guys, this is very sweet. This is one of those scents that really makes your mouth water. There is a intense like blue raspberry cotton candy note that just hits you in the face right away. You also get those top notes of the lime and the citron, which is basically, to me, a citron is more of like a lemon zest almost, like that really intense lemon essence. There's quite a bit of that lemon and lime in here. And it plays really nicely with that like blue raspberry note. More than cotton candy, I feel like this smells like a lot of like blue raspberry flavored candies. Like, for example, right now downstairs, we have some Airheads. Stella and I are on an Airhead kick. And the blue raspberry flavor from the Airheads smells exactly like this. Like, it's spot on. This is making my mouth water, you guys. This is very intense, very sweet. If you are, okay, here's the thing. If you're not someone who loves a sweet fragrance, you are going to have a hard time with some of these because they are all pretty intensely sweet. There's one that is kind of an outlier, but it still has sweetness in it. And this is the thing that kind of makes me, I think, most excited about the changeover here is I've always actually preferred a lot of the scents over in the Country Candle line, but it was in paraffin wax. So now I feel like I finally get to enjoy all of these scents that I've really loved from Kringle and in a formula that works a little bit better for me than paraffin wax. And this right here is intensely sweet. I'm not picking up any musk notes, but a lot of, well, I wouldn't say a lot. Some of these notes are definitely more supporting type notes, so they kind of help to build up some of the other fragrances that are in the profile. I do kind of also get like a touch of like a candied blueberry as well, besides that like typical like blue raspberry type scent. There is a little bit of that. I'm not really picking up strawberry per se. I can see some raspberry for sure, but it's more about that like blue raspberry note than like a traditional red raspberry note for sure. So as far as like fragrance appeal for me, this is a 10 out of 10. And these are very, very potent, you guys. When I'm telling you, when I took the lid off, Like they kind of like hit you in the face right away. I'm excited about the potential for increased strength and throw because the country candles have always been on the kind of like low to mid range in terms of strength and throw. This I'm hoping gives me more of like a solid medium strength and throw. Now I am still going to buffer my expectations because we have 2 wicks here and we have a somewhat limited opening, right? Like this is a pretty small opening up here. So there really is only so much fragrance oil, I guess, that can be released into the air with this particular format. But based on how strong these are on cold sniff, that might be a good thing. We shall see. I know Brett said that these are quite intense for him in his house. We have 2 completely different homes. So mine is a newer style of home that's a lot more open concept with super high ceilings. Brett, I know, lives in an older home that has more enclosed rooms, you know, that are like connected by hallways versus like this wide open concept that a lot more like modern homes have. So for him, the experience is going to be a little bit different than what mine is. So, but I think that's the beauty of like all of these ambassadors reviewing these candles. You know, everybody kind of gives some solid feedback on, you know, their homes and how these candles are performing in their own unique homes. So, okay. I know you guys can hear that, so I'm gonna wait for them to finish that up. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that. Okay, we are going from Blue Raspberry, which is a very sweet scent, to Cosmic Cupcake, which is, I don't know how this is possible, but I feel like this particular scent is even sweeter. I'm telling you, if you have a sweet tooth, this is the collection to check out for sure. So let's go ahead and read through the scent description and the notes. I'll tell you guys what I pick up on cold sniff, and then we'll just keep going on here. Okay, Cosmic Cupcakes. This out of this world scent opens with a burst of juicy orange, lime zest, and candied lemon. Succulent red berries blend into a confectionery sweet mixture of coconut milk, melted buttery caramel, and cocoa powder, topped with a swirl of vanilla buttercream frosting and sugar crystals. All right, top notes: candied lemon, orange juice, lime zest, and red berries. The mid notes are coconut milk, cocoa powder, buttery caramel. The base is sugar crystals and vanilla bean, sorry, not vanilla bean, vanilla buttercream frosting. There we go. Okay, this, immediately the first thing that I thought of was that this kind of reminds me of the like the dark chocolate oranges that you can get at Trader Joe's during the holidays. Like, you know, they're shaped like an orange, but it's just like a solid hunk of like chocolate. This to me has that like as the opening note. Like I smell a really nice dark chocolate and a really nice citrus. Definitely orange, for sure some lemon as well. I don't so much get lime zest as I do more of like a fresh lime juice maybe. But really the predominant citrus note is definitely going to be the orange for me. Chocolate and orange are a fantastic pairing, so right off the bat that makes this one a winner for me, besides it's just being a gourmand candle. But those are the first sort of notes that I really pick up here. There's definitely like that cocoa powder. What I'm not getting, and makes me happy actually, is I'm not getting much in the way of caramel, at least while she is not lit. I don't really get the caramel. I do get almost like a cake type note, which would make sense if they were going for the cupcake vibe. And I do get like a rich vanilla buttercream frosting as well. I really, really like this one, and I'm having a hard time picking between this one and the next one that I'm gonna share in terms of like what I think my favorite is. But this, for sure, top contender. If you typically gravitate towards a lot of the same stuff that I do, think you're gonna like that. But make sure that you're also good with chocolate, because it is definitely a chocolate base that's in there. It's not so much milk chocolate. I think it smells like a darker, more like fudgy type chocolate for sure. All right, and this lady right here. All right, let me pull her up. This is Coconut Blueberry Tart. And this was the one that I actually thought I would like the most based off of the scent notes. Well, probably actually more so the description than the scent notes, because the scent notes kind of threw me off a little bit once I got to those. But I figured if it smelled anything like the description, it was gonna be like a total winner. Okay, so Coconut Blueberry Tart, a delectable gourmand scent that captivates all your senses with its indulgent coconut creaminess and burst of juicy freshness from blueberries and plums. Cinnamon, velvety caramel, and almond deliver a crust-like warmth that crumbles with sweetness in the background. The top notes, these are so interesting: ozone and coconut. Your mid notes are fruit and green, and your base is coconut and amber. So like when you compare those notes with the description, like it almost maybe doesn't seem like the same candle. And so I'm not even gonna really talk so much about the notes that are listed here, because I feel like, I mean, I can definitely see some of them, but this is, I feel like the description is a better like breakdown in terms of the fragrance notes that you're picking up. So there is this kind of somewhat strange like freshness to this, which I guess might be considered that like ozone note that they have in here. I really get a lot of that like creamy coconut and blueberry. It's almost like you took like coconut milk and whipped it with blueberries. This is quite sweet, but it is not as intensely sweet as the Cosmic Cupcake was. There is also just a kind of generic like other type of fruitiness in here. Almost maybe like berry type notes, like maybe like a strawberry raspberry combo. Yeah, I think that's what it might be. Now the green also somewhat makes sense. Like it doesn't smell like there is grass in here, and it doesn't really smell like a green herbal note either. It's just very interesting, almost maybe borderline leafy in a way, but not like just random leaves, you know, like it's hard to explain this one in a way. I feel like this is one where if you are unsure about it based off of the scent notes, you should probably snag the Daylight or the Wax Melt first, just to be able to experience it. But I love this. So for me, it's kind of between this one and the Cosmic Cupcake for who is more delicious, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and pull up the next one. Let's go in with the grapefruit. Are you grapefruit? Yes, you are. Grapefruit and rosemary. All right, listen up. If you don't want something overly sweet, I'm gonna send you guys in the direction of this one here. Hey, boys and girls, let's simmer down. Sorry, they're here. So grapefruit, rosemary, juicy pink grapefruit, and sparkling bergamot are accompanied by earth-grounding wild rosemary, some lavender, and dewy garden greens. Top notes are sparkling bergamot, lemon leaf, and juicy pink grapefruit. The mid notes are wild rosemary, white lavender, and dewy garden greens. The base is creamy white woods and musk. Again, I think the musk and that like wood note are more of like the supporting scents, because I don't pick that up in here. This absolutely has that herbal touch to it. It's a very interesting combination of grapefruit and herb. This almost smells like, I don't know. I live in the Portland area. Like this is like the Portland, Oregon area. It's kind of like a huge like foodie area. We have a lot of kind of fun, funky restaurants here and a lot of bars that do a lot of really cool cocktails. Something like this reminds me of like something that I would find in one of those like trendy hip Portland, like, you know, in the Pearl District type restaurants where, you know, they come up with interesting concoctions that I would never dream of recreating at home because I don't have all the things. But this to me is very unique. It does have some sweetness from that, like the natural sweetness from the grapefruit. It's got that tang. The rosemary is very noticeable in here, as is that white lavender. It's definitely not a French lavender, it's a lighter lavender, but it is definitely there. I don't actually love lavender myself personally when it comes to home fragrance, but because it's mixed with some other things here, this one is for sure very, very unique. This is so interesting, you guys. If you're not sure about it, absolutely go for the Daylight first. This is really mostly that pink grapefruit, the rosemary, the lavender. There is a green note in here for sure. And this one doesn't smell grassy to me. It smells like just like a bunch of green herbs, you know? Very interesting, very unique. And I have to admit, I think out of all of these fragrances, for me, this is one of my like least favorites. It's actually not the least favorite. All that being said, it's not a bad scent. It's just like not typically what I gravitate towards, but I think it's nice. I think this would be a very interesting, unique fragrance for the summertime. I'm excited to burn it. I did order one of these, like I said, myself. So I think this would be a one and done for me for sure, but I do think that my mom would actually really like this one as well. Her fragrance tastes are a little bit more broad than mine. I like to limit myself. My mom is just kind of happy to like smell and burn whatever, so I think she would actually really like that one, and I feel like that would be a great scent for her house for sure. But I will be burning this one and I will review this one for you guys. Okay. So next we're going to go to another one of my favorites, and it's the Sweet Peach. Whew. All right, hold on here. Oh no, what did I do? Hold on, we gotta get back to it. Please feel free to listen to the pug ASMR in the background. Okay, Sweet Peach, a decadent blend of juicy peaches and brown sugar wrapped in warm spice and toasted oats topped with honey drizzle and whipped cream. All right, top notes: honey drizzle, whipped cream, and apricot nectar. The mid notes are Georgia peach, brown sugar, and nutmeg. The base is tonka bean, Madagascar vanilla, and toasted oats. This is so fun. This is a really interesting peach. I don't think I've smelled a peach quite like this. I actually smell that toasted oats note for sure. That's actually one of the first things that I notice about this. Like it has kind of like almost like a slight nuttiness to it. But the peach and just underneath that, like the apricot, like those stone fruits definitely pop out at you first thing. It is a sweet peach scent, but not overly sweet. So if you think the other fragrances are going to be a little bit cloying to you, potentially headache inducing, I think this is that level of sweetness that is a little bit more moderate and probably going to be enjoyed by a wider range of people, if that makes sense. Brown sugar, absolutely, like that. I don't really get that honey sweetness, but I do pick up the brown sugar sweetness. I can see where that tonka bean is. That's kind of like an earthy vanilla scent, but then I also get just a regular, like almost like vanilla extract type vibe as well. This is really interesting, and I like it a lot. I like it a lot. All right, now we're gonna go in with this bad boy here. I gotta find it. Hold please. Sorry. I guess I should have done this a little bit better, but well, we all know that I am not necessarily the most organized. All right, cookies and cream, where are you? Okay, well, maybe I should just start talking about it. All right, cookies and cream, here we are. Oh, you guys, if you love the smell of Oreos, if you love cookies and cream, ice cream, if you love cookies and cream cake, if you love cookies and cream anything, this is the scent for you. I feel like some people are gonna be like, what? I don't actually love cookies and cream myself. Now, I could eat an entire sleeve of Oreos in one setting. Do not get me wrong. I love to consume that stuff like it's going out of style. But I don't actually like the smell as much. So, and this one is intensely potent and sweet. So we're going back down the sweet slide here. All right, cookies and cream. Slice into the decadent aroma of chocolate chip and creamy fudge that melts into delectably rich notes of vanilla and praline, ending with smooth hints of tonka bean that will have you wanting another bite. Your top notes are chocolate chip, creamy fudge, and whipped cream. Your mid notes are milk and vanilla orchid. Oh, praline, let's not forget the praline. And the base is tonka bean, vanilla, and musk. Okay. First of all, it's the chocolate. This is a very intense chocolate. It is like a dark fudgy chocolate for sure. Definitely not milk chocolate. It really reminds, like the chocolate smells like the cookie part of the Oreo cookie. That's what the chocolate that you're getting in here smells like. It is telling you if you love Oreos, you're gonna be in like hog heaven here. I also get that cream filling, that like vanilla, like overly sweetened vanilla filling. Like you absolutely pick that up. Trying to, I get the tonka. And I do get actually, in this one on Cold Sniff, I smell a little bit of that like muskiness for sure. It's there. I couldn't pick it up in some of these other ones that have musk in them, but in this one, she's there. It's so sweet, you guys. I feel like there's no better way for me to tell you what this smells like than to basically have you look at the picture. It smells, you guys, this smells like Oreos. Just, if you're an Oreo fanatic, you should get this. By the way, I just watched like the history of Oreo cookies, how they came to be, and the like the competition between the brothers, like the Hydrox brand. And have you watched this? This is fascinating. I had no idea. I'd never even like heard of Hydrox cookies, but yeah, they're totally a thing. Anyway, I believe they are still battling each other to this day. Anyway, if you like the cookies and cream flavor, I think you're gonna be quite pleased with this. So overall, you guys, the Country Candle collection, the things that I'm noticing just after the changeover here is way more fragranced than the paraffin wax. Like a lot more fragrance than the paraffin wax, personally, from my take here. I noticed that the grapefruit and rosemary actually have, like some of the oils are kind of, can you see that shininess there? Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see that shininess. Like the oils on this one are kind of like coming up. I'm not seeing that on any of these others. Well, a little bit here. This one seems to be sweating just a little bit, but for example, the blue raspberry, I'm not seeing that on here at all. That has more of like that matte finish to it. I love the intense bright color payoff that I'm seeing here. I feel like these are much more vibrant than the paraffin candles ever were. The labels still beautiful. Those are the same. The jars are still the same. The wicks are, so these are not the same wicks that are on the tumbler jars. So I'm very curious to see how these wicks are going to perform and interact with the wax. So definitely stay tuned for some post-burn reviews here. I will burn these several times before I review them, and then get those videos out to you guys, probably kind of like 2 at a time, like I normally do. Let me know if you guys have any questions at all about any of the scents. If I need to clarify anything, just leave that down below in the comments. Let me know if you are excited about any of these fragrances. Let me know what you would like Kringle to maybe consider in terms of fragrances in the future for the Country Candle line. So yeah, I feel like Mick's really great at like listening to feedback and really seems to work hard to incorporate that into the changes that he's making. So if you guys have any suggestions for fragrances or, you know, color combinations or things like that, definitely leave those down below, because I'm pretty sure that he watches a lot of these videos and probably takes notes. So anyway, thanks for being here. I hope that this was helpful for you. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Subscribe if you're new, obviously, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.